Welcome, everybody, to all those who are new and to all those who are returning viewers. This is the third part of the Homestuck reading and analysis series, where I stream my first time reading Homestuck, analyze the narrative, then proceed to post it on YouTube as a VOD. We pick up after John managed to defeat a little gremlin after he got teleported to the void. Dave is pestering you. You don't have time to deal with his nonsense right now. Something is amiss in your room. You can't quite put your finger on it. Hmm. Something is amiss in your room. You can't quite put your finger on it. Hurry and activate the generator. A cat. You fire up the generator and drag a cord into the mausoleum. It of course would be foolish to run the generator inside a confined space. Generator safety is everyone's business. Defiled tomb. Sorry, Jaspers. Have to make space for the laptop. Besides, your final resting place is already a mockery. You should have decomposed years ago under a bed of petunias like a normal cat. Not given to a taxidermist and fitted with a tiny, custom-tailored suit, and then stuffed in a coffin built for infants. Plug in your laptop. You plug in your laptop and connect to the internet signal again. Everything predictably falls out of your Silodex, but you're not about to get bent out of shape about it. You have a bigger fish to fry. Looks like Dave noticed you're back online. He pesters you like clockwork, and there's John. What on earth is he up to now? The door. John. Look at the door. You're right. Didn't Rose yank the door off its hinges and prop it on your bed? Someone or something has put it back and left it slightly ajar. Incredibly alarming. Investigate. What? This is so outrageous. What the fuck? I don't know how to feel about this. Is there anything I can do? No. Pester John. When she starts speaking, I'm going to have to put on my greatest Ma Chuckles voice possible. It will have to be perfect. I need to attempt it now. Chuckles, my back is broken. There we go. Yes, it's gonna be perfect, I tell you. Forgive me, viewers, for the small hang-ups. I am being text messaged by a few folk. Alright, that is it. I will put on Do Not Disturb here. Oh, there you are. John said your house was burning down. Are you on fire yet or what? No, no. For now I have retired to the safety of a smaller building which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence. Oh, well that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help get you out of there, so I'm working on that now. Working on what? Yeah, my bro's copy. Long story short. Hey, don't tell John this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little. You're referring to your brother's collection? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all. The semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever, or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of this shit is going a little far and it's kind of fucked up. I've seen his websites. I like them. Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that. Wish those dead with those dead eyes. Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out. Interesting. Oh God, why did I just tell you my dream? You're going to have a field day with that. I am currently scrawling notes furiously into one of the many psychoanalysis journals I maintain for you. Published papers forthcoming. Because, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at the moment than to evaluate each other's radically debilitating pathologies. Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me. He won't answer me either, but I am watching him. I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also happens to be dressed like a clown. All right, I'm out. Later. Interrogate this mad woman. Um, Nana? Maud chuckles voice now. Yes, dear? Wow, you scared the living daylights out of me. Well, I guess it was a really great prank. Good one, Nana. Anyway, are you really my dead Nana? Of course, John. I've come back to help you on your journey through the medium and beyond. I'm delighted to see what a fine young man you have turned out to be. Just like your father. Okay, I guess I will take your word for it. I don't remember you at all. My dad said I was really young when you died. Hey, speaking of which, do you know where he is? I looked everywhere for him. There we go, he's beating their ass. Come on, Dad, beat him. Your father was kidnapped. Fuck, he didn't beat their ass. Oh no. When you crossed over to the medium, he was apprehended by the very forces of darkness which your presence here has awakened. What? Okay, so what is the medium you're really talking about? It is where we are now, a realm that is a ring of pure void, dividing light and darkness, turns in the thick of the Incipisphere, a place untouched by the flow of time in your universe. You mean because we are inside a computer? Or in the game software or something? A computer? Why, what is that, dear? Some new fangled contraption? Like the horseless auto boxcar? Well, it's like this machine, the... Of course I know what a computer is, John. I was just pulling your leg. Oh, okay. No, John, you are not inside a computer or software or anything like that. Try not to be so linear, dear. The software that brought you here was merely a mechanism that served as a gateway. Its routines, in a way, serve to invoke this realm's instance. Yet it stands independently of any physical machine, and somewhat paradoxically, always has. I'm not sure I get it, but alright. So, what do I actually need to be doing here? I think it would be best if we started with the big picture. Go on. Above the medium, beyond the seven gates, residing at the core of the Incipisphere, is a place known as Skya. Legend holds that Skya exists as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. What does this mean, you ask? I'm afraid my lips are sealed about that, dear. But needless to say, where a realm of such profound importance is concerned, forces of light will forever be charged with its defense, while forces of darkness will just as persistently covet its destruction. And as it so happens, at the center of this realm, whose fate is in question, his very forces duel on a stage, stuck in eternal stalemate. Yes, they have dueled in this manner forever. That is, until you showed up. Me? 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 Yes, you, John. Before your mishap with my ashes, you may recall the sprite's previous incarnation, which resulted from its kernel's hatching. You see, this hatching occurs automatically in response to your arrival. The result is a pair of kernels, one dark, one light, each carrying the information they were prototyped with before the hatch. One goes down to a kingdom entrenched in darkness, the other up to a kingdom basking in light. Each comes to rest in an orb atop a spire, which there are three others in kind. The four spires are situated above a throne, and these two thrones preside over the respective sovereign powers. And once the kernels are situated, that is when the game is afoot. The true war begins. Light versus dark, good versus evil. This is a war that the forces of light are always destined to lose, without exception. A quest of futility, then. Whoa, really? Then what's the point? That remains for you to find out, dear. For you see, the journey you're about to take is the ultimate riddle. Whoa. For now, your objective is to proceed towards Skya and pass through the first gate situated directly above your house. Not even terribly far. The gates will become progressively more difficult to reach, so you had better be prepared to sharpen your adventuring skills. How am I supposed to how am I supposed to get up there? You build. Hmm. Now the question is, what exactly does all this mean on a narrative level? A realm with infinite creative potential, which the forces of light and darkness continue to fight. It's a very interesting idea, but it is really difficult for me to try and see where this would fit into the previous paradigm I had about this game's narrative, about it, how you can find. Oh, now that makes a bit more sense. Because he's it's still the story of trying to find fulfillment, but now they're tackling one of the bigger questions, and that's good and evil, how they interact with the world, and how that fight or duality or how that duality interacts with each person's quest for fulfillment. The Colonel Sprite again acted as a sort of almost embodiment of this quest, hence, and more so how to understand it, I suppose. A sort of, okay, this is not going to be something everyone knows, but it seems like it's meant to be a guide, sort of like an avatar from World of Darkness. As for the seven gates and all that, that I believe we'll probably learn more about. And the world of infinite creative potential, that one's also a bit interesting to analyze. I presume that it's meant to talk about how art can help you achieve that fulfillment. That could be it. And the connection art has with how you can achieve fulfillment. I suppose we'll find out. Oh, I think I get it now. So I guess the battle against good and evil is sort of irrelevant? Well, I don't know. That all sounds kind of weird. But in any case, we build the house to get to these gates, and then I can save my dad. Yes, John. And then after that, we solved his ultimate riddle thing and saved the Earth from destruction. Oh no, I'm afraid not. Your planet is done for, dear. There's nothing you can do about that. Oh, your purpose is so much more important than saving that silly old planet, though. And that is? Yes, I will have to agree with the float hag about that. John, you are such a good boy. I know you will succeed. Thanks, Nana. You are a good boy, and good boys deserve treats. Hooray! I'm going to go bake you some cookies. No! Nicolas Cage! The hag mentioned cookies. Pursue her. Oh god damn it, that's just what you need. More baked goods. John, you do not say no to cookies. I command you to get them. You totally abjure the hell out of that idea. You're so busy during, you don't even notice Rose has been trying to pester you this whole time. Hit John in the head with the box to get his attention. You give John a swift drubbing in the noggin, but he is undeterred. That is some fit he is throwing. Perhaps you will take this spare moment to contemplate the Nanosprite's strange tale. It may also behoove you to record your thoughts on these developments in your GameFox walkthrough/journal. It can be hard finding time to update it. In fact, you're not even sure where you found the time to write what's already there. This is gonna be some weird timey-wimey shit. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. Oh, is that so, Jaspers? And just who do you think you're looking at with that smug grin? The last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault you're in this mess in the first place, so he can just button it. There we go. That's more as well into the whole idea I brought up earlier of Rose being someone who's been on this road, but who is starting to be petty because they're having trouble finding the next steps. John, cookies. Now. You refuse outright. This impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies. Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline? John, you are stupid. You really need to work on your manners. Stupid, stupid, dumb! That's not a command. It's nothing. It's stupid. You're stupid. For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy. It's just not going to happen, buddy. Years in the future. But really, not enough. But really, not enough to write Helmet down. An agitated finger slips mid keystroke. Beans! Mustard! Human etiquette. Oh, so this thing isn't human. Makes sense. Kind of looks like a Star Wars creature, but like a ripoff of one. The long and short, the medium too. I may have been a bit hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival. And if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions, which if followed you would have resulted in your demise, then I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your getaway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely humanoid androsentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers a chance to have all this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy doublespeak your choice of prototyping elements engenders. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanations and assiduous dissection of raw data. Again, don't mention it. If you have made it to the medium with an unmolested vanilla sprite, well, I've already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and I will go into this further soon. Though to what extent this actually is bad news, I'm not sure. I know only the result of my co-player's current configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before the departure and once after. Which brings us to this good news, which is that you can still prototype after your departure, and salvage the massively rewarding experience of haggling with an exposition slinging phantom guide, so long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items, such as a brass door knocker and your father's pornography collection. Actually, they might be interesting. If you are struck by the spirit of such experimentation, please don't hesitate to contact me about it. So yes, you can enhance your sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce this effect on the medium I alluded to, that can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate there are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure. Both before, one after, both after, only one, either before or after, none. These occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel's hatching process, and your guide, i.e. the sprite, those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally the insiposphere, are still vague to me. They have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of the game, which again I derive through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging an instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set parameters, and a series of objectives surrounding an equally flexible mythological framework. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blank template, and evolves with the player's actions, and likely further evolves with the addition of more host/client connections, and thus more prototype kernels. I regret to say I can't be much more specific than that, without loosely extrapolating further. There are plenty of questions that have occurred to me, however, questions concerning the kernel sprite which I've raised implicitly already, such as what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel on the medium, or a doubly prototyped kernel for that matter. And even more salient are questions about this dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure, or is a unique blank instance of the dimension created for each new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in the realm seem singularly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every separate client/server pair activates its own fresh copy of an Inciposphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quantity of players is a further complication which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client. But through a mishap, my co-player and I have slipped out of the obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server/client connections together, until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player, functioning as the server to my client, and the client to my current co-player server, assuming he can recover it. The strange thing is, though, in our instance of this dimension, there are four receptacles for dividing kernels, not three. Does this mean we are destined to have a four-player chain? How could the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does. And if this proves to be the case, I trust I will be sufficiently numb to the realization. I consider nothing about this game surprising at this point, and in fact, from the first moments of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I obtained on good authority during the prototyping phases, but it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs securing the dark twisting paths to necromancy were blundered into rather on accident. But perhaps you don't need to know any of this. Rethink organization? Lead maybe waist deep logoraic sludge. Trim down. Bleh. She's not finished with this yet. Geez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go bug someone somewhere else for a while. Or at the very least, somewhen else. Months in the past, but not many. Hmm. The Lalonde residence. Well, I'm bugging her again, I suppose. Happy birthday, Rose. Hello, and thanks. Did you get John's present yet? I just opened it this very moment. What a stunning coincidence you would ask about it now. I am stunned. Yeah, I know. What will you make of it? And who said it was something from which something else could be made? Well, John did tell me what it was, duh. I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I can do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable analytical remarks. Oh, but Rose, I don't think he meant anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say the way you and Dave always do. Maybe. His birthday is in a few months, isn't it? Yep. I finally finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years. Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking, or if you're even capable of it. I just mailed it too, so it is sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here. I'll probably craft something with a strong sentimental value. That should burn him. I don't think you really mean that. I guess not. So, shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from whatever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into? No. Sorry, but you're sort of hard to shop for. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you will like better than those things in a box. Oh? It is a trip! This is already intriguing enough to compensate for the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please go on. Did you have a pet? Did you have a pet a long time ago that died? Yes. Okay, well, how did you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot? Okay, well, I didn't mention it was a cat or that it was a male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and move on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings towards the animal as lukewarm. Okay. That's fine. Doesn't really matter, I think. Just what if someone told you you could play a game that would bring him back to life? If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively, is that someone you? Yes, that someone is me. I just thought you might find it interesting. So, what is this game? I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later and maybe you can talk to John and Dave about it. They're way more into all that stuff than I am. I'll see what the word on the street is about it in due time. For now, I should probably order a copy of Knitting for Ashholes. It would be a shame if I ran late with John's present. Get katana. You capture log your katana. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 9 out of 10 equals 9. And you prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe, retrieve dead bird. Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in the heat anyway. Don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down, like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a grove it's tracing round the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle this sizzle a little bizzle. Set the record straight on this global turn sizzle. So don't change the dizzle. Turn it up a little. I got a living room full of fine dime brizzles. Waiting on the pizzle, the dizzle and the sizzle. G's to the Bizac, now ladies here we gizzo. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet John Keats. I think this does support the previous interpretation I had about what Dave is meant to be going through, and how people can deny their own roads to fulfillment through wanting to appear cool, giving that he stops midway through in order to remember a song like that, but also because of the sick heat and the sun which is staring down at him and is piercing him. He's stopped in the road because and the whole suspend time part, he's stopped in the road and he can't continue on because the act of looking cool, the need to look cool, is staring down at him. At least that's what I'm interpreting. Could be very wrong. Exit your room and go into the living room. Sorry, little dude. Coming through. Gotta put you down for a bit. You figure you've left him hanging long enough. Hastily enter the room with wild abandon. You barge in and see a familiar face. A friendly face. Hog Rider! You stand in the living room. Your bro spends most of his days in here. At night he crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere though. There's the puppet chest he stores little Cal in when he takes them out on gigs. But when he's home, he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, 'cause Cal is totally sweet. So sweet. Man, pity the fool. It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which of course is kept in the apartment with a sense of profound humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony, or anything close to a pedestrian tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. Might have been funny like 8 years ago to joke about Mr. T and how he was sort of lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke. But in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on. Only highly adept, satirical ninjas like you and your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool taking stuff that other people think is funny, but you know really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony, which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you can be as good as your bro at this someday. You'd never tell him that, though. And of course, he has a Kermit as well. Dave so far seems to be the least well off among him and his friends, which I find really interesting because it sort of acts in that case where, sure, he's doing something that he's finding, or rather, that his brother is doing something that he finds enjoyable, but he's not exactly willing to admit that he finds genuine enjoyment of it because of the fact that it can be considered lame. And as such, he's dealing with the possible consequences of doing something you like, of the art, which is to say that especially at that point in time, artists weren't exactly capable of um, living the lavish life, but he's still not finding true enjoyment in it due to the fact that he's not considering it part of himself. Find low Cal and give fist bumps. Cal's nowhere in sight. All you see is a bunch of your bro's weird nude puppets strewn around haphazardly. You guess these things are kind of cool, sort of. Play a game on the Xbox. Looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally intense gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal either. Man, you hope the little guy's alright. There's the fucking wizard! You cannot escape the wizard! Oh, there you are, dude. Didn't see you there. We be chill today, Cal. Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man. Cal is fucking horrifying. By God, that is a creepypasta monster. I hate it. I hate every instance of little Cal, and I hope it dies. Resist great urge to play Bros Xbox. You failed to it's Skate 3. Oh my god, he's glitching. You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts, something uncanny brutal on your quest for Mad Snack Show, and get this way rude hunger under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D fixture or something, like a railing or a piece of the wall. You'll have to reset. Fuck this shit. Give Lil Cal a bro fist bump. Aw man, you almost forgot. Gotta give the C-Man some props. Check out bro's sweet gear. Is that Super Mario Logan? Your bro has so much sweet gear it's hard to keep up with it all sometimes. Here's his computer setup. He's usually got a lot of stuff cooking on here at any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peep. Look at your brother's computer. Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. Of course, you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with that because the password is the most awesome thing it can be. You enter the password. On the desktop is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application Complete Bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and news feeds he monitors to stay hip on the scene. Open Complete Bullshit. This is Complete Bullshit. Check if Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff has a sweet update. Your bro keeps up with your projects in his aggregator, just like you keep up with his. He's tuned in to your various blogs, and of course, Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. You navigate to the latest comic in one of the many bullshit feed bands. Bro, I got a ticket for the big game. It's sports. Dog, I am so jealous. You know I love the big game. Oh yeah, and there he goes. The big man has the rock. He's driving so hard through the paint downtown. Alley-oop for the slam dunk. Oh. Mouse over the orange stripe containing plush rump. Okay. Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar a year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a firm squeeze from the plump butter or that cash cow. Stop wasting time and look for Bro's beta. You guess you've messed around on his computer long enough. Better get a move on before it's too late for Rose, or worse yet, your bro catches you. But, my god, the rumps they are transfixing. You know this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions, when your guard is down, it all seems just a tad unsettling to you. Uh, hey. Hey there, Cal. Give little Cal a nervous fist bump. You start trying to flip the fuck out without losing your cool, of course. Pester John to ease your nerves. Hmm. As for when it comes to Dave, it could very well be a situation also where he's sort of forced into having this enjoyment of them and hiding what his true enjoyments are, on top of the cool factor. Hmm. You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown of your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot. But he's not answering. You wonder what that guy is up to. Hey, what's up? What happened with the monster that is probably definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here. Totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problem with them or anything. Like, just really, really awesome. Looks like Rose is finally logged in again. Didn't John say her house was burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what. Pester Rose. Oh, there you are. John said your house was burning down. Are you on fire yet or what? No. For now I have retired to the safety of a smaller building, which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence. Oh well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help get you out of there, so I'm working on that now. Working on it? Yeah, my bro's copy. Long story. Hey, don't tell John this, but I think you might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little. You're referring to your brother's collection? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all, the semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever, or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of this shit is going a little far and it's kind of fucked up. I've seen his websites. I like them. Yeah, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that. With those dead eyes, Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out. Interesting. Oh God, why did I just tell you my dream? You're going to have a field day with that. I am currently scrawling notes furiously into one of the many psychoanalysis journals I maintain on you, published papers forthcoming, because, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at the moment than to evaluate each other's radically debilitating pathologies. Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me. He won't answer me either, but I am watching him. I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also happens to be dressed like a clown. Alright, I'm out. Later. Seconds in the future, but not many. John, what are you doing? Snap out of it. We have to discuss what your grandmother told you, don't you think? Fine, enjoy your stupor. Go about my business elsewhere. Deploy the punch designates. John, whenever you read this, you should know I put the shell you collected to use and finally deployed the punch designates. It is in your study. I can only drop it though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it and see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try. I'm updating my walkthrough and it would help to know what it does. Look at all these evil demons. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful. So I can see. Stupid, lousy imps. They're mucking up all my cool stuff. Oh, there you are. Oh yeah, sorry. Sure what came over me there. I was acting really crazy for some reason, but my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm alright now. Rebuild the claw hammer and return it to Specibus. You're getting way better at this sort of thing. Confront Pogo Ride to prepare yourself for Nana. Thank God your sanity has returned so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the Pogo Ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see. These sons of bitches. No one risks painful injury on your green slime ghost pogo ride. No one but you. Click Giddy Up. Use arrow keys to operate pogo ride. Go for insane combos as usual, coding by Alexis Gankro Big Snare. heavy on those imps. Yes, drop the piano. That it it doesn't die. Rose, my piano. Sorry, no nuance to these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though. I guess you're right. You'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the Grisps. So, that means I have to go out the back door? Yes, is there a problem? Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies. You're right, that does sound dumb. Can you see her in the kitchen? Yeah. What's she doing? Is she baking? You could say that. Are you sure you can't get that grist up to me somehow? Maybe. Use pogo ride to fling grist through window. Doesn't look like the grist is going anywhere. You'll just never know with these gaming instructions. Drop pogo ride in John's bathroom. Get a grist. There you go. Now why don't you check out the designates? You can do that while I get to work. On what? Level up for slaying the imp. The piano, in its valiant effort, has unfortunately been slain. But if it hadn't, it would have raked in so many boon dollars you have no idea. So many. It's time to build. Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, okay. But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John. Ah, well, what are you building? Stairs. They're fairly expensive, actually. Oh man, could have warned you about stairs, Rose. I'll try reoccupying some of the grist from the catwalk I built earlier. It keeps happening. Ah, good. I can get a refund from earlier applications. I told you, Rose. I told you about stairs. Okay. Consider me fully briefed on the matter of stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non sequitur. Did you know he thinks puppets are cool? Does he? He's so dumb. Use build grist to construct observation tower on roof. You obviously don't have enough grist yet for something that ambitious, but you can get that started. But you can get started with something of a foundation for upward construction, at least. Check cabinets for imps or useful items. No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dad loves shaving, is basically all they do. When they're not baking, that is. Bring 2 cans of shaving cream. You capture log 2 cans of shaving cream, just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beer to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window. Ride, pogo ride. It's a little cramped for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. You'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself. He's going to throw it at something, isn't he? This is gonna be the gun on the wall. He's gonna use it, and someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna get hit with a pogo ride and blow up. The towel floats back down to the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete. Check up on Nanaquin. See what's cooking. Oh my god. How many? How many cookies? By Lord. Jesus! She can, she can just laser them. She's so far the literally strongest thing we have encountered in this series. She lasered that imp. Why is he trying to show him the mannequin? No, the Harlequin. Oh God. It looks like the imps have taken a shining to the crux shooter. Cruxite and black goo everywhere. Ride Slimer Pogo and one up that imp. Well, okay, it's not a Slimer Pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments. Ride your steed to victory. Oh my lord. Well, it died. This is incredibly dangerous. Flip the fuck out. Let's see how they like the old double barrel. What the fuck? The old double barrel lather blaster. Whoops! Oh shit! Mr. John respectfully asks that you please stand up. Don't move or the pogo gets it. Now, sir boy, flee from this boorish rabble post haste. This feels like it's another character. I don't know if it's the same one as before, so I won't give the same voice. Nice abscond, dude. Refrigerator. Level up for slaying the imp. Sweet Jesus. The refrigerator skyrockets up the extra ladder to a new rung. 5-star General Electric and earns 285 boon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance. Well done, John. Polite congratulations. For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier. Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask. I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the designates. John, imp's behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why do you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless. Drop something heavy on one of those imps. What the fuck? Sweet Jesus! John, might I bother you for a can opener? Oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there is probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by a refrigerator. John is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing? Years in the future. But let's not get totally carried away here. A studious eye darts about a page like a honeybee gathering the nectar of wisdom. Oh, it's eating it. Elixir known as tea. I see. So this thing, it eats the pages and it learns how to do stuff. Specifically, how to talk. And now it's talking fancy like. So it is the same one. Appendix 3. Screen captures part 1. I can't take as many as I'd like to for comprehensive documentation, but for what it's worth, here's what I've managed to collect so far. More captures forthcoming. Co-player John assesses environment after transition to medium, followed by Sprite, sans kernel, prototyped once pre-hatched, completely useless in this form. Severed from suburban grid, house remains mysteriously powered. Convenience presumably facilitated by game which perhaps deems navigating a powerless house to be a handicap less in keeping with spirit of game's principal statement of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well. Will likely remain stable until the internet itself is compromised by some external threat, something like, oh, let's say, hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build onto the house. That's the game. Didn't know what the point of this was at the time. Floundering trial and error on exhibit. Unsuccessful attempt at Tier 2 prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using a back-breaking Vade mecham for practical jokesters rife with antiquated lexicon and racist aphorisms. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for a time. Don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned, the car was nowhere to be found, and the driveway plateau was in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? Sprite prototyped once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to some helpful exposition in a friendly and grandmaternal manner. Co-player has displayed inexplicably capricious behavior since arrival. Stress related? Contracted virus indigenous to realm? It should be noted he was kind of a weird guy anyway. Designates deployed. Still no clue what this does. At mercy of co-players' foolish prioritization tendencies. Crisp payload from slain foe. Whether I deal the damage a co-player does, yield is same. Though I have a significant advantage in battle, taking measures into my own hands deprives John of hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostensibly will become more critical later. Building the point. Building upward, the point, sharpened and directed. Ah, steeds, steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind a home in your manes? Is there a sensitive ear, alert as a flame in your every fibre? Hearing the familiar song from above, all in one accord, you strain your bronze chest and hooves barely touching the ground, turn into straight lines, cleaving the air, and all inspired by God, it rushes on. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of these things. Really, Egbert? Really, Egbert family? Really? A view of his kidnapped father's rooms. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps this is because John himself has never entered the room. It is possible that I can see only, in a sense, what John can see, or has seen already. I have not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, this question may answer itself. Construct loft above John's room. I've seen worse construction. That's actually pretty solid. Ladder seems a bit cheaper than ladder seems a bit cheaper than stairs. Fall Hello, John. It appears we have reached an impasse. Yes, it seems so. I'm trying to think. How would I do this voice? It needs to be British. This is very British, but I need to think of a correct voice to do it in. What would it be? The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately. Yeah, that'll do. It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again? But it has been a pleasure nonetheless. Thanks for the courtesy. It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway. Oh, but thank you. Okay. Thank you so very, very much, dear favorable small primate. I shall take my leave now, John. Until next time. They're both annoying the shit out of her. Wait, where did all this sweet loot come from? And why is there suddenly a crumpled hat on your head? Gather grist, examine designates. Feeling especially economical with your behavior suddenly, you scoop up all the grist in the room and turn your attention to the punch designates all in one fell swoop. The device features a countertop station design with a keyboard setup. Not unlike an old-fashioned computer, there's a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel. I see. So you place it there from your either that's a strife apparatus or it's a free space. You put it there. You put it there. You get a computer. Answer, Dave. Okay. Wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist deep in puppet ass. What is the specific problem? The problem is I'm up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong. You know you like the mannequin dick. Accept it. I am enrobed in chasing, wriggling, god-fucking damned puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged around across my anguished face. Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostrate because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word. You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy Muppet buttock. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis here. Like the proboscalypse, I guess. Are you going to start rapping about this? What? No, no, listen. Prong of flesh, bereft of home, found solace twixt a clepsed phone. No, oh Jesus, of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse, a painted pair of parted lips, that dare through kiss to stare the air, that teases tufts of orange hair. And though faces flush in lovers' fits, hands snug and plush as gloves befit. Oh, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumy trap for a half second, this is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft, bulbous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or some shit. Then let's hope there will be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall. Observe back of the first visible capsule lock card. You flip over the top card containing your pogo ride. Anytime you capture log something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what the code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read. But then, you've never really found any reason to decipher them. Until now, perhaps? Oh my god, it is a CAPTCHA. Examine reverse side of hammer card in stripe specibus. Looks like cards from your strife deck have codes too. Enter capture code as seen on back of Pogo Ride card. You enter the code Dikimajiluk into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off. A green light begins blinking. Insert card. Type in NZ7U6BI. It's a hammer. In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process of that card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns. Attempt to retrieve Pogo from card. Oh, well, that should just be a simple matter of, oh, it looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore, or store a new item there for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and the items they contain are toast. But maybe all is not lost. Recalling from your experience with the pre-punched card, you may be able to use the cards to replicate the items in question, assuming you got the codes right, that is. Mash keys heedlessly. Not quite with your cowboy empirism just yet, you mash at the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter the designate stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length for a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card. You figure you might as well burn the saving cream, since the product is not exactly at a premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the two cans onto one card. You're a little sad your dad isn't around for this. You have a feeling he would get a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream. You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you just burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you just freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pesterers. My lord, it's staring. Why is it always staring? Jesus! It got hit with the fucking bathtub! Answer your chums. Puppets. Awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Turntech Godhead changed his move to rancorous. John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out. Wow, that was totally unnecessary. I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get up there and to try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive. You mean these stairs? Man, look at these steady stairs. They're so narrow. I'm supposed to climb those? They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If we keep slaying flows, collecting grist, and expanding the cash limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future. So why didn't you just build a way up through that hole into my dad's room? Have you ever been in there? No. Exactly. Huh? I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanics of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish harlequin decor your father keeps in his room. Oh, come on. What's the big deal? I'll just climb up and go right through. Will you? Yeah, why not? Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there? Or why it's been kept secret from you? Well, I mean, yeah. Then trust me, you won't be going right on through. Wait, are you saying there's something like troubling in there? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you see in there? I can't see in there. Oh, I don't have a very good feeling about it. Whatever. I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings. Move punch cards to John's room. Drag some Crocside dolls up to John's room. Collect grist. Examine safe. You swoop up the bountiful supply of grist generated by your co-player's recent exploits. From now on, it will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist lying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's odds and ends have spilled out, including some old newspaper clippings and two rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bet that these books comprise at least half the weight of the safe. Examine Family Tome of Humor. It's another copy of Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved with your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but maybe Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. Give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chicanery you have come to know and love. You capsulog it, thinking you may give it a closer look later. Examine contents of safe. Okay, so we're dealing with number 4. There we go. The Fatherly Gent's Shaving Almanac. Take a look at the other book. You sure Dad thought this was scintillating, scintillating? I don't know, I haven't seen that word before. Fuck are you? 6 months, whatever the fuck. What's this? I'll follow you online. Hmm. Let me let me see if I can delete your message. You're not here anymore, so it doesn't matter much. Ah, doesn't matter. Take a, but it looks pretty boring to you. Maybe you'll crack into it someday when you're old enough to shave. Everything in the safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand. It seems he has been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades. Look at the pieces of paper taped to the wall. Hmm. Son, if you are reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now son. If you are reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I am so proud of you. Turn the card over. You guess this is the combination to the safe. This is completely useless. Examine back of capsule card on floor. You guess these are all zeros, or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card, you think. Captcha the card. Went to the fucking void. Enter code on back of card into designates. Punch card. Wait, John, before you punch that. Oh, I was about to say, if you first took note of the code, then removed the card from the code, you could have punched the blank one. You have only burned one card instead of two. Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn it! Throw hat down in disgust. Captcha punched captcha log card. Take PDA. What? Take PDA. The two card. Well, there's more grist. The two card show decks. Inventory of dumbasses. Level up. He is now a pesky urchin. Level up for slaying the imp. The colonel soars to new heights of his echelon, reaching the rung one-man julep vacuum, and pockets 9,550 boon dollars, chump change for the genteel, aristocratic southern colonel. Level up for slaying the imp. The bathtub surges heroically and surpasses the rung, Archimedes' aqua cradle, proceeding directly to vaunted rung, Taft Jamer. The tub makes off with a cool 490 boon dollars. The tub's basin capacity remains unaffected. Level up for slaying the imp. The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre carries it off to Valhalla. Make your way up the stairs, post haste. You're not sure. They look pretty precarious to you, but you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable. Lousy, goddamn, stupid stairs. Oh god, they really are horrible. Oh my. Ignore Lil Cal and find the beta. You you wander over to the place where your bro keeps his sweet turnable gear. Man, that setup is sweet. You feel pangs of jealousy whenever you walk by it. Really cool jealousy, though. Like the kind where instead of getting all worked up about it, you don't actually give a shit. One of your brother's rad and extremely expensive ninja swords is missing, though. You know this drill all too well. Trouble's a brewin'. Hmm. Take expensive ninja sword. What sword? Exit your bro's room. Oh my lord. You approach the exit. There's something on the door you haven't seen before. Looks like one of your bro's ironic comments he left for you to check out. What have I done? Animal, please stop breathing. Oh Claude, please breathe. Okay, make believe the time's over. What will Nanny do to me if she finds out? No one can ever know. I have to hide the body. But where? Think imagination. The one time I really need you. Click. Hello, Rolf. I want to play a game. I want to play a game. To play a... Okay, some of this stuff you know he's just leaving around to get under your skin. This is obviously another ploy in his relentless seeds of one-upmanship to get your goat, the same goat you've been meaning to bleat ironically. But that will still have to wait for a more appropriate time. You think he knows that deep down you feel like you're still not ironic enough to get stuff like this. And this is probably some weird gauntlet he's throwing down to see if you will get it. But honestly, you think this material is just a little too ironic. Just don't need to see this shit right now. Go into kitchen. No sign of Bro in here either. Well, aside from the absurd quantity of awesome, dangerous stuff he leaves lying around. Good lord. This is... What? He has fucking Cloud's blade? He has Cloud's sword? He has Cloud Strife's sword? Wait a minute. Is his name Dave Strife? No, it's a Strife, a Strider or something. Transfer Katana to Strife Specipus. With an escalating sense of threat, you think it's time you shift your Katana to your Specipus. You figure it's better to free up the card anyway, since you might need to grab some of this stuff. Set blender to mix. You you guess bro stuck some fake blood capsules in that puppet? Pretty gross. Oh god, there was something in there, wasn't there? That was a little alien. You just killed an alien! You spot one of your bro's many webcams nearby, recording the incident. It seems you may have just been an unwitting accessory to some sort of grisly puppet snuff film. You're not totally sure how you feel about that. Capture log Buster Sword from behind microwave. Yes, the Buster Sword, that's what it was. Oh, he cut its head off. This might be the only thing in the whole apartment that's a bigger piece of shit than your own sword. You put it back behind the microwave where it belongs. Set blender to crush ice. It's just sort of bouncing around in there. You're making a bit of a mess now. Hide evidence in microwave. See? Like, his hobbies are cool and all, but you guess he's got to put his shit somewhere. But what if you just wanted to heat up a burrito or something? This kitchen is pretty much useless. Grab those fireworks. You capture log all the fireworks. 15 out of 10 is 5. The sink has to offer. You just know there are going to be You just know they are going to come there. These are going to come in handy. Why would they be in the sink if they weren't? Looks like one of them is still stuck in the garbage disposal. Capture log, shurikens. You grab the shurikens 5 and hey, careful where you're putting stuff, especially if you're looking to turn your Silodex into a powder keg full of sharp things. You put the box of fireworks back into card 5 and prepare to start off, or card 3 apparently. That settles that, you guess. Take nunchaku. You take the nunchaku, once again grabbing without thinking ahead. First you capture log the box, again, while adeptly avoiding the shuriken trap, which you yourself said only moments ago. You again round up all the fireworks. Time to regroup here. Capture log each shuriken individually. You grab each shuriken one at a time, knocking out those nunchaku. But no worries, you've got a plan. Capture log nunchucks. You take the nunchucks. Everything seems to be in order now. It would have been badass to go with the authentic Japanese names for each weapon, but sometimes you just gotta compromise with this modus. Examine fetch modus. You flip over your fetch modus and check out the back. You're not really sure where it is you're keeping this thing. Oh well, who cares? Press eject button. Oh hell no. Not after all that trouble you went through to get that stuff situated. This is potentially a very dangerous button. Change to Scrabble points hash modish. First, you program your motors with a Scrabble points hash function, adding it to the list. This might be a cool function to use, but it looks like you'll have to empty your Silodex to select it. You're just not going to do that yet. No way. Check the box, detect collisions. Okay, take the skateboard. And just what is this guy so happy about? What's he looking at up there? You think if you see one more soft, bulbous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, you're gonna fly off the handle. I... the nose. You take the skateboard. Actually, no, you don't. A collision has been detected. You take the wheeled ride. Man, your inventory's nomenclature, nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute. Capture log the unplugged power cord. You take the power cord. Wait, no, not going to work. Think of a new word for power cord. You take the battery pack. Damn it. You take the battery pack. What the fuck? What's the difference? Did he add an extra space? Using the Y as a consonant, your Siladex reluctantly accepts. It's a tactic notoriously employed by hash map noobs, but you just don't care about that now. Besides, it's not like your bro is around to see. Oh no. Search for Mad Snacks, yo. Oh, it was just little Cal again. You can never stay mad at him. Anyway, you've got to get this way rude hunger under control. You figure you ought to scope the fridge for some grub. This hunger is so ill-mannered it would take a room full of snooty dowagers commit mass. It would make a room full of snooty dowagers commit mass suicide. Open refrigerator. Oh God, more shitty swords. Of course you knew these were in here. You're not even sure why you looked. If you want to keep any food or beverages in this apartment, you've pretty much got no choice but to hide stuff away in your closet. Take swords. To hell with it. You try to take the entire jumble of unbelievably shitty swords for yourself and brace yourself for. Looks like that works actually. You capture like the jumble of unbelievably shitty swords. Use Ice Maker. It's still hot around here. You dispense several cherry bombs. Wait, who's that looking at you in the reflection? Where did the little dude scamper off to this time? Capture log, cherry bombs. You go for the cherry bombs, unsuccessfully. After mulling it over a bit, you take the red spherical salutes. Take blender. It's a pretty simple word, and you can already tell that's not going to work. Instead, you take the whirling blade pitcher. That's really a much better name for it anyway, you think. Activate garbage disposal. Stuff down Mr. Purple Guy into the garbage disposal. You're still not sure what he's so happy about, or what he's looking at up there. While you're at it, you dump the contents of the blender, oops, I mean the swirling blade pitcher, into the disposal. But you suffer an unfortunate garbage disposal head jam. You notice something in the reflection, something above you. Hello, Dave. It's the hatch to the crawl space above your apartment. Bro's always tucking away in there when he's busting out his rad stealth stunts. He's so slick that that dangling cord never even jostles. You just know that he's being ironic with these weird mind games. There's no way anyone could be serious about aping those shitty movies. Use the turntables and cinder blocks to make a fort. It's a pretty sweet fort you just made, and you're pretty sure your brother would agree. Under different circumstances, you might be high-fiving over it right now. But rather than get inside and take her for a spin, you really just need to use it to get up to that hatch, yank cord. It's time to face your destiny. No going back now. That's a whole lot of puppets. It's a whole lot of dolls. He's falling. Good lord. Yeah, there's pretty much no way there wasn't going to be a bunch of puppets in there. Okay, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist deep in puppet ass. What is the specific problem? The problem is I am up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong. You know you like the mannequin dick. Accept it. I am enrobed in chasing, wriggling, fucking, god fucking damn puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged across my anguished face. Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostate because you love it. Also, course is a good word. You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy Muppet butt talk. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis here. Like the proboscalypse, I guess. Are you going to start rapping about this? What? No, no, listen. Prong of flesh bereft of home, found solace twixt a cleft of foam. No, oh Jesus. Of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse, a painted pair of parted lips that dare through kiss to stare the air, teases tufts of orange hair, and through faces flung, flush in lovers' fits, hands snug in plush as gloves befit. Okay, Dickinson. If you can shut your perfumy trap for a half second, this is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft bulbous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or something, or some shit. Then let's home there will be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall. Read the note on the hatch. Bro, roof, now, bring cat. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen. Burst out the puppet pile like the one. Be the other guy. You are now the other guy. Take dolls and sheets from bed and make a tent. This is so much fun. A huge waste of time, yes, but so much fun. No. Carve a totem of the punch pogo card. Put the punch card containing the pogo ride in the slot, and carve a totem from one of the Crookside dolls. Repeat process with other cards and dolls. You use a card containing the code for the hammer as well as the one with the random code you punched over the shaving cream card for the hell of it. You carve the respective totems for the cards. Do same thing with capsulon card. Make a totem for the capsulon card. Pretty bare bones looking totem if you ask you. Just becomes slimmer. Collect totems. You store the totems in your Athenium. Produce capsulon card. The alchemiter requires 1 unit of any type of grist to produce 1 card. You decide to use shale, since it seems less generally useful than build grist as of now. You make a whole bunch of them. Whoa, did you just make all these? Yes. Sweet, thanks. What did you do with all the blue wobbly vase looking things? I brought the totems out to the alchemiter to test them. I'm taking some things into my own hands to save time. Okay. You create a hammer at the expense of 2 units of build grist. You make a pogo ride too, -5 build, 1 shale. You use the totem card of the random crowd. You create a rocket pack with some random crap stuck inside it. Looks like a cinder block, a violin, and a flower pot. The items have rendered the device completely inoperable. You figure you might as well put this junk to use. Collect cards. Using a little strategy, first you grab the Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike Cavaney, then the cards, then your ejected PDA, then the book again to flush the cards into your deck. Nice going. Turn on detect collisions. You flip your fetch modi, but you find no such option. This is idiotic. Read book. Be the wise guy. New Orleans. The close-up room at the Magic Castle was this mean little box that tended to fill up with so much smoke you'd swear someone was cremating a wet dog in there. In walks Anderson. There isn't much that gets slicker to pause its journey from the tables to my lips. But I'll be the bastard love child of a listless octoroon if that kid wasn't the cat that swallowed the canary in a dapper little hat. It looks like he was testing the tensile strength of his suspenders to the damn near limit with a pair of cocky thumbs. I wasn't impressed, but I was a fool. Somehow, in my notion for another beverage, he'd already slipped into polite conversation at a table held down by some notoriously brusque regulars. He had them in no time flat. They were melting butter in his glass ramekins. Whatever tidy yarn he'd spun to win them over, I didn't catch a word of it. One of 'em laughed. I was angry. Envious. Maybe a little. Yeah, you bet I was. Anderson had one of those little wooden finger choppers that Mickey Hades used to sell. The kind where the blade could be removed and clearly shown. It was very convincing little guillotine that did not look like a novelty store toy. Harry could get a guy to examine the chopper, then cut a cigarette in half. Then he held the guy's hand up and told this silly story. The story, of course, was artifice, a distraction for the guy in the audience while he worked the stuff of the chopper. Or it would become that, once his famous chopper trick was perfected, vaulting him into fame, fortune, and a crowning position in the television judiciary. With what became his signature aplomb, Anderson was in moments of front of breast pocket gage, profuse apology, and redoubling determination. It's really amazing how hard it is to find a bloody sausage-sized piece of a guy on the floor of a room that dark and smoky. Impossible. I think we all proved. Just as impossible as blind Willie Buttermilk Stubbs was going to find it to work his trumpet tomorrow night without his twiddling fingers. Never really understood what Cavney's relation to Anderson was, or why he wrote this book about him. His ambivalent attitude toward your favorite magician in these anecdotes always struck you as a little weird. And to be honest, you tend not to read much of the text in the book. You mostly like to look at the diagrams for all the cool tricks. A hole in the ace. Here's a perfect example of how Harry could ruin several decks of cards, waste everyone's valuable time, and have you love him for it. He was good at that. One day he noisily emptied his suit jacket, poked onto the hood of his car in search of change for the meter. A clunky metal thing slid from the pile and bounced on the sidewalk. As I retrieved it for him, I asked what he was doing with a hole punched in his pocket. His face lit up at the question, like he was an elf, and I asked him how he felt about climbing into a hollow in a big tree to bake some cookies or something. The 2 foot 6 inch height differential between us causes these comparisons to enter my mind. Small crowd had already gathered around even before he produced the first pack of unmolested cards. How people seem to gather, and how they even know a street performance is about to take place, I'll never know. It's perhaps Anderson's greatest tricks, luring the marks like that. I wanted to ask if he was sure about this, performing in broad daylight. He was used to working in dark rooms. It was usually the first thing out of his mouth when he would queer a trick. I'm really more accustomed to working in a darker room than this. But Harry was excited. He'd already butchered the first deck of cards with the hole puncher, and issued the first round of apologies to the crowd. These were like the primer apologies, the sort that got the folks loosened up a bit before the 7-course meal of ingratiation that would inevitably follow. He asked me for a French deck of cards, and I gave him one. The principle pushed behind the trick, in theory, as he explained to me later, was to punch holes in what appeared to be one card, but was in fact two or more together, hence the difficulty he often had in squeezing the puncture with his little elfish hands. Then, using some coy maneuvers with his thumb, temporarily concealing the hole when he slid the card beneath it with his palm, the hole would seem to disappear, or move to another part of the card. Oh yeah, that's right. The old hole in the ace trick. Interestingly enough, pertaining to punching holes in cards and making them disappear and stuff. Your hands were never really strong enough to make this one work all that well either. But actually, this gives you an idea. You overlap two of the punch cards. They mask each other's hole patterns, but both cards in totem length. You carve another totem using the new combined hole pattern. Take it to the alchemiter. Oh man, looks like Rose made like a million hammers for some reason. Get all this shit out of the way. We're about to make something sweet. Beautiful. That's beautiful. You got The pogo hammer. Practice with new weapon. What did you do? I combined the cards in the lathe thing and made this. It is so sweet. Man, look at me go. I see. That was a really good idea, John. Nice work. Thanks. Got the idea from Harry Anderson. Who? You know, the show Night Court. No. Oh. Well, bottom line is he's awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. Attack the nearest imp to test Pogo Hammer's strength. He looks scared as shit. What the fuck? You get a vicious rhythmic bouncing combo going and easily slay the imp in one blow. You and the Pogo Ride are catapulted sky high in the process. What's going on there? Why is there a hand? The imp fell after it got hit with the pogo. Sweet catch. Wait, this is a sweet catch. Is that moving? Did I miss that? Was that moving? Doesn't look good. It's all broken, man. Pester John. Hey, that was nice. Sweet catch. Save. Oh yeah, that. This is pretty comfy. Why don't you just like carry the bed around with me on it up to the gate up there? I can't interact with you directly or anything that you're touching if it will result in moving you. See? Oh, lame. Game probably regards that as a kind of cheating. In a way, thieving you of your free will is an adventure and the need to advance by your own skill and ingenuity. The server player is just a facilitator. Well, okay. All that scurrying around kind of wore me out. I think I'm going to rest here for a bit. Rose, can you keep the imps at bay? Like, drop some stuff on them if they sneak too close? No, you should pick up your hammer and defend yourself. What? Come on. I have no idea what the hell Dave is up to, or if he's any closer to recovering the game. There's some stuff I'd like to try, in case he doesn't come, though. In case he doesn't come through. Oh, alright. Just gonna rest my eyes for a second, though. Sleep. Check Alchemy Excursus. Looks like a sort of index documenting all the known results for punch card alchemy combinations. This could be a convenient resource as you start to stumble on more useful card combinations. But ever since John started punching cards, you've been contemplating other ways this item manufacturing system could be put to good use. In particular, if you obtain the code for any item at your disposal, you think you could theoretically send the code to John and he could make it himself. That is, if you can think of anything that would be rough worth sending to him. Capture log Spurv server CD. You eject the disk and capture log the server CD. Message John the capture code. Oh god damn it. There's no code, is there? No. It's all burning. Oh, it ran out. Dead. Facepalm times 2 combo. Wake up. Ooh, are we gonna... What the... Hey! Whoa, there you are. How's your adventure going, John? It's okay. I am making some progress, and Rose finally connected again, so she is helping me now. That's good. Oh, but like...
I don't think I'm actually saving the world here. I don't know what I'm really accomplishing, but I guess it's not that. Hmm. Well, I think whatever it is, it must be pretty important. Don't lose hope, John. I think it will all turn out for the best if you stay positive. Just keep listening to your grandmother's advice. Yeah, you're probably right. But don't think I mentioned Nanny to you, did I? Oh. I don't know, didn't you? I don't know. Maybe you talked to Rose or Dave about it or something. Yeah, maybe that was it. They're really weird when they talk to me about you. Like, they're always trying to convince me you have some spooky powers. But I'm always like, no, she seems like a pretty regular girl to me. But when I think back, maybe there are times when it seems like you know some things. Like maybe you know more than about a thing than you are telling me. I don't know. Oh well, John. I want to explain lots of things to you. Some things that I know, I'm just waiting. Waiting for what? Oh, John, I forgot I was messaging you about that meteor that fell near my house. Oh yeah, whatever happened with that? Oh boy, well, turns out I was confused about it, really confused. See, I guess I fell asleep for a while and lost track of time. That happens. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Maybe you should like wear an alarm clock or something. So what was the deal with the meteor? Well, it's hard to explain, but I know what it is now. And now I have everything, and now I know everything's gonna be okay. So what is it? Or is this just another thing you're waiting to tell me? Oh gosh, John, I really want to tell you all of this stuff, but I can't yet. I really think you need to wake up first. Huh? Well, okay, not literally. Well, okay, maybe kinda literally. Ugh, stop being so confusing. Lol. Anyway, time for you to go, John. I think you have some company. Uh, cat face. Garden Gnostic ceased pestering ectobiologist at unknown time. Quickly grab the pogo hammer. You stick the pogo hammer back in your strife specibus and get ready to kill some more of these pesky little. Huh? What's that? What? Tentacle therapist ceased pestering ectobiologist at question mark question mark question mark. Rose, why aren't you dropping something on that thing? Oh no. Be the imp. You be the imp and quickly abscond the fuck out of there. This is what weaker adversaries do whenever things get too hot to handle, which is frequently. Prepare for a boss battle. You stop being the imp because I was stupid and scurry over to your magic chest that you suddenly remembered was on the roof. There are some things in here that would be good to stock up on for a major battle, but it looks like someone has plundered your chest. This is so outrageous. He's climbing up. You are being ambushed. There isn't much room to maneuver on the sloping roof. Maybe you should consider making your way to higher ground. Ascend to the highest point of the house. You go up here. Look down. You peek over the edge. It already seems like a long way down to your yard, not even to speak of whatever's below. Hey, weren't your trick handcuffs dangling from that branch earlier? Damn it. Why do im why do imps gotta be making off with all your sweet gear? Turn around. Crude ogre. Crude ogre. You are confronted with a pair of enormous foes. This is it. You have no choice but to wage a fierce rooftop battle. This is totally going to happen now, and could in no way conceivably be interrupted by a sudden shift in your attention. It's go time. It's time to do this thing. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen. These are. Hmm. Bro, did you get the new hot game that everyone's buzzing about these days? Dude, you know I did. You know it. That is so sweet, man. How about a bro hug a bump? Okay, how do we do this? Let's do this thing. Let's make this shit work. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen. Oh, wait, this is the previous one. Was it this one? Literally the same thing. Stop being the other guy. You stop being the other guy. Not even sure what that meant anyway. Ascend to the highest point of the building. Oh, he is prepared. Psych. We are now Jade. Oh wait, double psych out combo. We're not Jade. We're this guy. You are now the wayward vagabond. Retreat. Got him already. Examine rotten pumpkin. What pumpkin? Check the little red bar. It appears to be a gauge for a large power cell, perhaps fueled by some type of nuclear reaction. If this is the case, it is relatively low on fuel, but who knows how long it has been running here. Do not care about this sort of nonsense and you will disregard it at once. You are very hungry. Capture log, can of gravy. Capture log. You have no idea what that means. It is total nonsense and you do not know what to make of it. You do not give the foolish notion a second thought. Pick up can of gravy. I would like for you all to give me a second. And we are back, folks. Pick up the can of gravy. Just pick it up. You just pick it up. You're now holding the can of gravy. Use sharp teeth to poke a hole in the lid of the can. Your teeth are useless for the task. They are blunt like that of livestock, presumably suitable for massing up plant matter, and not for puncturing metal. Attempt to open can with your weak, pathetic digits. Your weak, pathetic digits are not strong enough to penetrate the can. Your fingers are certainly pointy enough, and your black carapace is suitably rigid, but you just don't have enough muscle for the task. Take the can labeled beans. Okay, you take that too. Examine can of custard. The can clearly reads mustard, a fact of which you are perfectly well aware. It is sort of cumbersome holding all these cans at once. Now you can hold many more than this, maybe one or two. You'll need to find something to put stuff in if you want to carry a lot of things around. Examine marking on wrist. Drop all the cans and take a look at your wrist. It is a sort of specialized barcode pattern. This brings back unpleasant memories and you would prefer not to dwell on it. Examine the small potted plant. What plant? Check book on human etiquette. It appears half the pages of this book have been eaten. The daunting volume is considerably lighter than it once was. You are somewhat skeptical about the nutritional value contained by these pages. However, of the practical wisdom they contain, there can be little doubt. You have learned so much. Clear out all the cans inside the purple machine. You empty the peculiar cabinet, take a quick inventory of your canned goods. You have beans, mustard, gravy, bread, shrimp, asparagus, cheese, rice, corn, peas, flour, chestnuts, mayo, ham, potatoes, and squash. Such bountiful plenty, and yet the delights taunt you from within their small metal prisons. Search room for can opener. You have already looked all over the place for a can opener, even making a few electronic inquiries about one, to no avail. Nothing else inside the purple thing either. Locate a nearby sharp object. You wield your trusty knife. It is actually not sure what they're called. It's an old rusted one of those small red mailbox arm swinging flappy doodads, either for letting you know there is mail in the box or maybe for alerting the mailman to outgoing mail to be collected. You don't know really. You've wrapped a little piece of cloth around it for the grip. It is useless for can opening. Be the imp. This means nothing to you. You're not an imp. You have no idea what an imp is, and you will not entertain such frivolous and childish ideas ever again. You feel stupid and hate yourself a little for even considering it. Become the mayor of Cantown. As the glorified founder and mayor of Cantown, you erect a dignified, majestic city hall out of cans, fittingly capped off with the tome of good manners for the roof. You've given yourself a very official and important-looking mayoral sash, made out of old cables to complete your look of authority. A number of rather civic-minded citizen cans gather in front of the building to offer adulation to their fair and magnanimous leader. All is well. You immerse yourself in this beautiful dream as you whittle away the minutes, or perhaps hours. You love the idea of being a mayor. You love everything about mayors, and the concept of an orderly civil democracy. It all seems so mannerly and reasonable to you. Everyone is friendly and happy, and the city runs like clockwork. The foundation of the government is based on mutual respect between the leader and its people. It is also built on having a really great mayor that everyone loves who is totally amazing and heroic and brave. Mayors are so much better than kings. You hate kings, and you think kings are really stupid. They are petty, bossy tyrants, and are really full of themselves and are basically awful in every way. God, do you hate kings? Explore west of Cantown. Over here is the other side of the room. There is another one of those purple storage boxes and some useless objects scattered on the floor. Use glowing green rock to open cans. Pick up the nugget of uranium and, oh, that was so stupid. Why would you do that? Examine box of crayons. It's chalk. Numbnuts. Inside the box there are 12 pieces of chalk in every color of the 10 pieces of chalk in most colors of the rainbow. You are excited by this. Try to open the storage box. It's locked. There must be some sort of release mechanism for this thing. Examine contents of yellow container. The container is full of motor oil. This does not seem useful to you right now. Rescue that poor lightning bug. There is nothing you can do for this new little friend attempting to crush the amber casing the firefly. Crash the amber encasing the firefly would likely cause it harm. It nevertheless bravely flashes on. You find its light alluring, inspiring. To you it seems as if it could quite easily serve as a light of democracy. Use the chalk to draw some roads. You sketch a handsome network of sprawling thoroughfares for your citizens to traverse. The adoring population applauds its mayor's keen instincts for city planning. You even add some lush vegetation to your city with a piece of blue chalk because you can't seem to find more suitable color for some reason. Lay a chalk foundation for Cantown civic growth. You develop westward, settling those fertile plains and claiming them for your city. You section off a number of residential and commercial zones for civic growth, arranged in the only logical pattern that occurs to you. You color the residential zones with your piece of white chalk, but for some reason, none of the colors in the box strike you as suitable for the commercial zones. Perhaps there is an alternative. Use your own P for the commercial zones. You cannot urinate because you have not had anything to drink in quite some time. You are very thirsty. Also, that's a really terrible idea, and you would not consider befouling your wonderful city in that way for even a moment. Use motor oil to designate commercial zones. You fill each square with a bit of motor oil to complete the zoning. It looks rather striking to you. You can hardly imagine that an up-and-coming young can, trying to make it in the world, would not be delighted to live in your fair district. You are very careful not to get any of the unpleasant fluid on your person. Peel label from the Canabeo and affix the sash. Survey surroundings in search of more terrain for city. It seems you have run out of territory for your western expansion, but there is still a lot of empty wall space. Perhaps your citizens would be happier with a colorful backdrop that would make them feel more at home. Using most of your imagination and an entire piece of sky blue chalk, you render a bright and cheerful sky full of clouds. You have decided that very closely orbiting your city is a luminous planet, about which orbits a single moon. You switch to another shade of blue and continue rendering on the western hull. Riding much further from your city are four planets. None of these have satellites. You have decided. Yes, that makes sense, you think. Hmm. That is will be all for today, folks. We might have another stream later. It's a possibility, but it's unknown as of now. So, I wish you all a good afternoon, good evening, and good night.